pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. First item up will be approve the meeting agenda. Don't believe we have any additions or subtractions. So moved. Motion by Greg,
I second.
second by Brenda. Any discussion on the meeting agenda? No further discussion on the meeting agenda. All those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Motion carries. Opportunity for visitors to address the board. Would like to address the board? Okay. We're gonna move on to commendation for Viking Elementary School, School of Excellence.
All right. As folks have known and have heard, over the last year, the Viking Elementary School went through the School of Excellence application. There were 8 schools that were selected, and Viking Elementary was one of those 8. The process, it was a fairly lengthy process that involved surveying staff, surveying parents, surveying some community members, and then collating that information and just sort of identifying the strengths of our staff and of our school, as well as a pathway of maybe one or two things to work on. So it was a great process for staff to go through. They put a lot of work into it, and it really just highlights the awesome stuff they did. So, would you like to read the letter of commendation?
A letter of commendation to the Viking Elementary School staff for services as set forth in the following citation. In recognition of validation of Viking Elementary School as a Minnesota School of Excellence, the school board appreciates the hard work and expertise the staff displays on a daily basis. The synergy of the Viking Elementary School teams in developing instructional practices and learning opportunities leading to increased student achievement over the last 5 years. Using the leader in me as the foundation for student leadership, providing a pathway for students to be leaders of their learning. The efforts of the Viking Elementary School staff, students, staff, and parents focus on our district's mission of providing a variety of high-quality academic, arts, and athletic programs in a unique rural setting.
Got some staff and the principal can come on up. Awesome. Well, we can come right over here maybe.
It seems like a full enough.
How's that?
No, you go first.
No.
Who wants to?
You can hold it.
Who wants
You
to
can
hold
hold
it?
it. You've been here a lot longer than me.
Sorry about that.
Say Vikings rock on 4.
1, 2, 3.
4 for Vikings Rock.
Good. One more. Let's see. Excellent.
One more.
Perfect.
Great.
Thank you. As I mentioned with John earlier, at the Principals Association, Principals Conference, I believe it's February, one of the evenings they have a dinner where they present the plaque and such to the principal. And if there's any staff that are able to attend that, it can be a long drive on a Tuesday evening, but that'd be great.
Appreciate the effort the staff makes, and Ed needs to take a little credit for this too. A little. He was a leader at the reins. Thank you. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Item A, approve board meeting minutes, regular board meetings, August 8th and 19th meetings. Item B, approve financial claims and bills payable, August bills, treasurer's report. Approve donations to the Viking Elementary for school supplies, Calvary Church, $520. The Viking Elementary for school supplies, DFW Post 5252 for $500. Pelican Rapids Schools, Fine Arts Auditorium, West Central Initiative, Pelican Rapids School Foundation, $50,000, total pledge $61,961. Item D, personnel, hire Mike Douglas as a long-term substitute for Brad Holt starting September 9th, 2019. Yep. Hire Jordan Fitzgerald Roberts as a .5, Jordine Fitzgerald Roberts as a .5 Spanish teacher. Item E, approve the Lakes Country Service Cooperative Agreements, ECFE Services Contract, ECFE Consortium Membership Agreement, Community Education, Secondary Vocational Services, and Superintendent Mentorship Services. Item F, approve the collaboration agreement with West Central Minnesota, West Central WCMCA. Is that so?
Oh, you're gonna ask me, right?
Okay.
Community
That's
action.
start. Community action,
Yes.
okay. For 2019-2020. And then item G, approve Derek Nelson as LEA representative for title and school continuous improvement.
So moved with the amendment to 2019 with regard to personnel.
Motion by Greg, amended consent agenda.
I will second.
Second by Mike. Any discussion on the consent agenda? Any info we need to add to it, or?
No, it was all pretty fine.
No further discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same. Consent agenda carries. Business item, certify the proposed levy for tax year 2020-2021.
Turn it over to Rudy.
Absolutely. So we start our process again for our levy certification piece. Just a few things to note in terms of the process. Today we are asking the board to set the maximum. We do not want to define a dollar value because a lot of figures will change between now and December when we actually approve the certification piece. So for now, to meet our September 30th deadline to notify the county and MDE, just simply say that we're gonna set our levy at the maximum, please. Things to note regarding some of the numbers is our property values are increasing, our tax rate decreased, and we're getting a few more dollars in our levy, and we won't get to see any of these proceeds until fiscal year 21. Things that are kind of highlight pieces. Let's take a look here. We didn't have as many adjustments as we did the prior 2 years, which is good. We are working with MDE on another LTFM adjustment. This relates back to 2017, 2018. So I'm working with them to try to figure out why the adjustment is there. We continue to have a school age care levy for $2,600 that helps a lot of our after-school programming like club bikes. And overall, in terms of levy dollars, they look pretty good. We had a good increase. Questions?
No numbers till later?
No numbers. These are pretty preliminary, pretty raw. October 1st is the deadline for us to send year-end reports to MDE regarding our final numbers for last year. So Sherry Verdorn is working on those March reports. Once MDE receives the final numbers on October 1st, then they take those MDE numbers and then they start calculating the final numbers for the levy certification piece. My job between now and December is to fight MDE and the county and all those adjustments.
Okay. I'll make a motion to certify the proposed levy for tax year 2020-2021 at maximum.
Second.
Second by Greg. Correct?
Yes.
Any discussion? I believe as long as I can remember, we've always set the levy for maximum. I'm guessing what every school district does.
Yes. And that's,
So,
seems to be every superintendent thing I'm going to right now, it talks about the levy, and that's just what they
it's
get.
standard practice.
Mhm.
Yep. across the board.
Any additional discussion? No further discussion, all those in favor of approving the certified levy at maximum for 2020-2021, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, those opposed, same, motion carries. Item B, approve fundraisers and overnight trips for 2019-2020.
Okay, if I can bring it up. We may have some issues with this all day today.
Did you get those two?
We're gonna have to, do we have a hard copy? You can see most of the fundraisers, the staff member in charge of those, as well as, the organization. I know most of those are athletic. I don't know if you've got anything you'd like to add on the fundraising side there?
Most of them are ones that they've been doing.
Mhm.
So is there any questions on any of them?
Probably just Spanish. I mean, were they scheduled for any trips this year with the new
They would
halftime
be-
Spanish
They would
teacher?
be next year.
They would be next year.
So this year is band trip,
Mhm.
so next year would be Spanish. So,
I didn't see softball and baseball on here, do they not do every year?
they usually do, but sometimes they don't get the stuff in
Okay,
at this board meeting, so. And we're flexible of, I think the idea is, when we tried to go through this list is, so we didn't have like 8 groups all doing cookie dough.
great.
So we kind of split it up a little bit. So. And they've done the cards the last couple of years. So
That's what I really want to know, I wanted to know if I was gonna be able to get one this year.
I'm, okay. I haven't heard that they're not. So,
I've still got one from this last year, I can tell you.
I do too.
So, any questions on the field trip? Or I mean the fundraisers? The field trip, let's see here. I'm trying to multitask a little bit. Okay, here we got the band, there, you got the New York trip there, in April. 7th grade choir to Holmes Theater in November. 8th and 9th grade going to Fargo, that date's to be determined. The Viking choir in Minneapolis in April and May. Class of 2021 junior class of Barnet Dunbella. That's a great field trip, huh?
they have a dance and a meal, I think.
Oh, really? Boy, that's kinda
I
exciting.
think that date's wrong, because May 1st is a Friday.
We'll have to take a look at that.
It's always Saturday, so.
Right.
Yeah.
What's the May 2nd?
Setup day.
I like to know when prom is.
Yes,
It's May 2nd, yes.
okay.
Good catch. It's Saturday. Saturday.
The setup day, they bring everybody out for the setup.
I think that's.
That's
FFA Indianapolis National Convention, October 30th through November 3rd. And then FFA to the Twin Cities for the Minnesota Convention, April 19th to 21st.
I guess the other one to add to that would be the 6th grade trip.
The 6th grade trip. Do you have dates on those yet, Kim?
I do. It's the
Awesome.
Tuesday and Wednesday of the last week of school. Hold it up. We have everything scheduled already except Target Field, there's a Twins game at noon that day, so we're either gonna go to the Twins game or go to US Bank Stadium.
That would be
19th
kind
and
of fun
20th.
to,
There we go, 19th and 20th of May.
because they tend to just be they tend to been out of town previously.
Right. They don't give tours when there's a home game,
No,
but the US Bank Stadium is also a good tour, so we'll have to see what the cost is.
right.
Okay, They might be pretty cheap, cause I know we did it just as a family, and I think it was like $20 or $30 a person, so as a group it might be way cheaper.
Mhm.
Yeah, cause the tour's like $5 a person, so,
As a group, they
Yeah.
should go for.
Fantastic, and so those are the trips with that addition of the sixth grade trip.
I'll move to approve fundraising and alternate trips for 2019-20 with the revised date of May 1 to May 2, and with the addition of the sixth grade trip.
May 19th and 20th.
Yep.
A motion by Greg, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brenda. Any discussion on the trips and the fundraisers? Further discussion, all those in favor of approving Greg's motion signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same, motion carries. Item C, set January 13th, 2020 as a regular meeting date for January. And set February 10th, 2020 as a regular meeting date for February.
And that's just due to every year we run into
Luther
the
King.
Martin Luther
Holidays.
King and President's Day.
We're not gonna run into any conflict with MSBA's conference, or shouldn't,
I think it's the 17th or something.
okay. So I'll make a motion, we set January 13th, 2020 as regular meeting for January, and February 10th, 2020 as regular meeting for February. Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brittany. Any discussion on resetting the meeting dates? Further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Meeting dates are changed. Administrative reports, elementary principal / activities director, Mr. Nelson.
Our enrollment is at 424 to start. I think there was 14 less in the kindergarten than the sixth grade that went out. I think last fall they said it ended at 440 elementary enrollment, so pretty stable other than a smaller kindergarten class in sixth grade group going up. The Viking Elementary School of Excellence, I guess a big congratulations to the teachers for the great job they've done, and Dr. Richardson for all the work that he's done down there. There will be celebrations coming up, so just give you a heads up, you'll probably get some emails on things. If you can make any of those, that'd be great to have any or all of you in attendance of those. So. The donations were mentioned, but VFW and Calvary Church did donate money for school supplies that will be used for the classrooms. The 18th, the Lighthouse will be meeting, and we'll be setting the goals for the year. 2 years ago it was a reading goal, last year was a math goal, so we'll see what they have in mind for this year. See if Dr. Richardson gets loose hair again. Collaboration starts on the 18th to 25th with each grade level. Looking forward to that. And Picture Day is on October 2nd and 3rd, so pictures are coming. October 10th, we have students from the Mayville State will be here, observing classrooms. And then October 11th, we are having a Samtastic Day that the Student Lighthouse team is planning activities that day. Should be a great day. Activities report, hard to believe, but just over 3 weeks we start playoffs already. Playoff dates for soccer start on October 8th, volleyball 21st, football 22nd, cross country 25th. So seems like fall, all of a sudden you get into it and it goes, and pretty soon, boom, playoffs are right around the corner. So teams are doing well, so it's fun to see. I have a high school league meeting tomorrow. Usually it's today, but it's Tuesday this year. It's always a big one with a state we're required to go. Otherwise, school gets fined $500, but they always fill us in on what's coming. So they want every school at one of the area meetings. So we'll have that in the morning and a region meeting in the afternoon. So usually I have some stuff to report at this meeting from the high school week, but it's tomorrow instead of today. So always good information from the high school week. So questions, anything?
the 10th, do the Mayville students, did they bring their own color crayons? Or,
I said Mayville's coming, not Valley City. Abuse.
Oh,
Thank you, Derek.
I usually ask Mr. Korf that question.
And Mr. Korf is not here. He's able to report.
he does have a report, bring it up and I'll kind of read it like that, I can read it. He's at the JV football game. When I was down there, they were winning 16-0 at halftime.
Nice.
28-0 last time.
28-0. And that was a big stop, defensive stop there at the end of the half, so that was great. Let's see, the high school, they're at 425, and so what we're seeing, we're essentially the same student numbers as last year, all told. With those, because they had 14 more kids coming up into the high school and through transfers and stuff than they did out. And I would throw in there as well that I know our preschool and VPK Head Start, those are some very big numbers for the next 2 to 3 years. Is that right there, I believe? So that's awesome. MCAs with the transition and stuff, I think we'll look at presenting for both a little bit about the high school and the elementary MCAs. Derek and Brian will next month. So just to provide you some information on that. Safety items, I know they did have a fire drill last week and they're working through getting some of those safety drills in place. At the high school, September 2nd have it, it'll begin with the end in mind and they'll be doing the goal setting as you can see. The 9th grade career fair at Detroit Lakes in September. We got the band trip this year. And Mr. Korf with the PLCs they have those 5 formal assessments, or WIG, peer observations, and it was interesting talking through the sort of book study where teachers will choose something to read and then they'll share out what they've learned or what they're taking from that book. And then you can see the various things happening. Homecoming week coming up the 30th. The first is pictures for the high school, hearing and vision on the 2nd, mid-quarter on the 4th. The 5th is the Viking Gala, and it's a lot of exciting stuff coming up for that. MEA the 17th and 18th, and then moving into November. Any questions I may or may not be able to answer?
Ed, do you know what's on that career fair for the 9th graders?
Is that,
Know that?
There'll be a bunch of different booths set up.
Who puts it on? Who coordinates it?
Chamber of Commerce or?
Or is it in state?
is it at M
I think
State?
it's at M State.
It's at
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Do all grades 9 through 12 have an opportunity at some point during the year to go to certain career fairs, or?
So I know the 9th graders go to this one. The juniors or seniors go to Wadena. Mr. Hubbard?
Technical students go to Alexandria for a career fair, but that's the only one.
But does someone go to Wadena as well? No? Okay.
What NDSU was it there?
What's that?
NDSU, we used to send a bus up there at certain grades
Yeah. And then
in the
two,
spring.
we've had different groups come in or different people, and then they've done like students can go to different classrooms with different topics, and then they rotate, so they get about 3 or 4 different presentations on different jobs as well that they've done in the past.
And I thought I saw Mr. Korf, who can probably answer that further for you.
Thank you.
I hear Mr. Korf.
Sounds like.
Diet Coke. Yes.
Scorp, they have a question about career fair.
Okay.
Question was, do all students attend one? 9th graders go to DL.
Yeah, they're going this week. And then we've hosted career fairs here at the high school. So we attend them, we go to DL and Fergus Falls, and then we host one where we invite our local people in to share about different, different careers.
Thank you.
Anything else? And buildings and grounds, Trevor's not gonna be able to make it. And Rudy. Treasurer's report, make it quick.
Alright, so activity for the month of August, MDE payments started coming in for our general aid. You'll see that on our investment categories, they're up there. Right now we have about $1.7 million sitting in our investments. In September, you're gonna see a substantial large amount there. We received our anticipation just a couple of days ago, but we won't recognize that until September, or until the September board meeting. Associated OPEB Trust, we're working with auditors right now, we're adjusting everything, so that 229, you're gonna see it to about the 167 mark on the next board meeting. Cash flow management, pretty standard, total bills for the month of August were $660,000, payroll $354,000. At the end, you can see that we have substantial cash to cover that $112,000. You can see that cash flow in deficit. We're not in deficit. That's just the way the books closed. But I make that transfer to make sure that everything balances out. We're still dealing with closing out those Wells Fargo accounts there that eventually we'll find some little bit of time, Dr. Richardson and I, to finally go down to Wells Fargo and close those accounts and figure out what's in that old safe box that we have no idea. So rather than updating everything, I just waited until everything settled down, and then Dr. Ed and I are gonna work together and get all the banking updated. Questions regarding cash flow or investment or anything in our treasurer's report? It'll start to consolidate and look easier. So, more to come. Next page is just simple, our pledge agreements that Minnesota National gives us, simply saying that they have substantial collateral to back up our banking accounts, pretty standard. At any point, if we keep more cash than what the collateral is, then myself and then the vice president of Minnesota National work together, and they pretty much add other funds and stuff from the state to make sure that they have substantial collateral to back up our checking account. Then we'll keep scrolling down. Not a lot of journal entries this period, simply just to close our books, make sure everything balanced there. Like I said, we're working with the auditors to close last year, so they monitor all the activities that we do in this month, just to make sure that balances stay very accurate by the time we present to you guys here in October. Then the last pages that Dr. Richardson scrolled through is your payables and everything that we pretty much processed this period. Questions regarding any of the information you see up there? All right, well, thank you very much.
Thanks for doing.
Dr. Richardson.
Okay, well, for a couple weeks into the school year, I think it's been a pretty good start. It's felt pretty positive, and it's been pretty exciting. The few things that have been going on that I've been involved in lately. On the 11th, we went to this Great Start Conference, and it's for new superintendents. Did a few things on levy certification, truth in taxation, and strategic financial planning, which is something that just good to see how some different districts have gone about that. And then also last Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm losing track of days, MSBA, the advocacy tour. Myself and Brittany and Ann and John attended that, and that was good to hear how the School Board Association and what their thoughts were as far as the legislative platform, and provided an opportunity for folks to give a bit of feedback. So, and that was in Fergus. This week on Tuesday, that's already Tuesday, yeah. The new superintendent meet and greet for MREA, so it's a good chance to work with those folks. And again, a superintendent meeting with tax levy certification. Rudy and I have a couple of different meetings this week on different levy stuff. The one being tomorrow, and then on Friday. Is that the last of that workshop?
Yep, that's the last
series of
one.
workshops for the finance workshops. That'll be Friday. On the 18th, going to have a couple of district staff meetings in the morning and then after school, so teachers will have an opportunity to go to one or the other if they're coaching or have other commitments. And it'll just be an opportunity to share where we are budget-wise and some of the information, the levy information. So we all understand where we're at and why we're there and how we're moving forward. So, and have so we've got a common message. Just a reminder as well, on the 20th and 21st is phase 3 and 4 training for school boards, school board folks. If you haven't attended either of those, the 23rd is a Rotary, the 23rd is a Rotary Golf Scramble coming up. If anyone's looking to play a little golf late that afternoon, I think the sign up is at 3 or register at 3 and if it's a 4-man scramble at 4 o'clock. MREA fall member meeting is on the 25th. And on the October 7th and 8th is the MASA fall conference. So things are getting busy. On the 20th, we've got the absentee ballots start up, and we've got that process set up. It's great to have Barb with her. She's got knowledge of this stuff and knows what's happening, so I appreciate her expertise in this stuff. And I also want to thank Mr. Corp and Mr. Nelson doing a great job getting the school rocking and rolling and moving. And I know they're pretty busy right now. They got 1 or 2 things on their plate. It's a big, that plate's getting kind of big, isn't it?
That's all good.
They're doing a great job, and I just appreciate what they're doing. And again, appreciate the teachers. It's been awesome to get into classrooms up here at the high school, just popping in. I popped in one Friday and the student was doing math with Mrs. Royson's class, and I said, "Oh, how's this going? How's math going?" He said, I like math in the morning. It wakes my brain up. So that's awesome. That's pretty cool. It made Mrs. Gomberg smile. So that was just awesome to sort of see that and to hear that and very cool. So that's all I got. Okay.
Thank you. Upcoming events. Dr. Richardson had mentioned the MREA fall meeting. Is anybody interested in going to that? 25th. Sometimes we've sent somebody, sometimes we haven't.
I'll be going if anyone wants to ride with. Be a cool little jaunt.
We have a work session scheduled for October 2nd at 6 p.m. And we're going to set some
Yeah.
talking points on that.
Yes, just think, and so we don't forget what we're here for in some respect. You know, we're getting so very focused in the levy stuff, and that's important right now. But we also got the new mission statement and vision and our beliefs, and it's probably a good time to try and get moving with some goals for some school board goals, because once you've got the goals set, we can work on some goals for myself and let's bring that down to the school level as well, because it should all sort of cycle through that.
You'll have a template or an agenda or something I can follow?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
We'll
All right, regular meeting October 21st at 6 p.m. And any other events that we forgot? Well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
Mike makes the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Brittany. Any discussion on the adjourning? No further discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. We're adjourned.